Hello again guys, Keith with Bulletproof RC, and I'm back at you to give you an update on the Axial Yeti kit. And I broke it. Well, I didn't break the actual Yeti, I broke an aftermarket part. And I had mentioned on my part 3 of this video series that the upper and lower rear links that I purchased were from China, and they were no name brand, and I may have trouble with them. The upper and lower links only cost me $23, so no loss. And I mentioned that I would purchase some Vanquish links if they broke. Well, the Vanquish stuff's out of stock, but first I'll show you the break. As you can see right here, the upper link is just completely sheared off. I don't know how it happened. I was playing around with it and running the car over some obstacles and just happened to notice that the rear link was dragging underneath the axle. And anyway, I kept checking back on Vanquish's website to see when they were going to have their links back in stock, but just had no luck. So anyway, what I did is I decided to pick up the closest thing I could find, and this is some links from upper links from White Knuckle RC. These are manufactured in the United States, and they appear to be very similar to the Vanquish links. And they're solid aluminum, and they have plastic rod ends. Everything included in this kit to get you going. Like I said, I did find these guys on eBay, ordered it from them. Shipping was very quick. I don't know who makes the rod ends that they're using here, but they appear to be high quality. Next, I decided to go with STRC lower links. Now these from STRC do not come with rod ends. That's the part number. They do come with the hardware to mount rod ends, but they recommend on their website to use Axial's rod ends, and I'll show you that part number. Basically, they require the angled rod ends that are in that kit. I don't know if you can see them there. I'm not concerned about the Axial rod ends breaking, because Axial plastics aren't really known for breaking. They're more known for flexing. And I'm thinking the flexing in the rod ends may be actually a good thing on the rear links. When the rear end is under stress, there needs to be some give somewhere. Since I've got a solid aluminum rear axle and link mounts are aluminum, be good to have some plastic somewhere for some give. So maybe we can avoid something like this. I'm sure the reason for this is more the quality of aluminum. But the upper links, after watching the Yeti in action and working on it, I realized the upper links they actually do a lot. The stress of the torque from the motor, these upper links support the rear axle under torque and braking, and they also have they're mounted in a triangular pattern back there, because when I removed them, I noticed that the whole rear axle would move side to side. So they actually, having the triangular pattern, they actually stabilize the rear end. So they do actually take quite a bit of the force, and as I mentioned before, I did add weight to this Yeti by all the aluminum parts I added. So these may have held up fine on a plastic kit, but all the aluminum I added, they weren't strong enough. Then I decided to pick up a new Robinson Racing extra hard pinion gear, because I'd mentioned in my last video I moved back down to this 16-2 stock pinion, and I'm running a Robinson Racing spur gear and slipper unit. So I decided to go down a tooth, because on high speed conditions the motor's cool, it runs fine, but on some of the slower speed trail crawling, the motor heats up. So I decided to drop a tooth on pinion. And I also, to help with that heat, picked up a Yeti Racing heat sink and motor fan. This is a Tornado fan from them. These are super good fans. They move a lot of air for their size. And I actually sent one of these over to my buddy at Everyday RC, Chris. He tried these fans out on his team associated rival. He really likes them over there as well. But if you want to knock the degrees down on your motor or ESC, I highly recommend you going on eBay and checking out the Yeti Racing products, because the Tornado fans, they're super fast, and they put out a lot of air. I've dropped a lot of motors and ESCs from dangerous temperatures down to safe temperatures just using one of these. So highly recommend that. And lastly, went back over to Carter Fab, picked up some front hinge pins. The Axial Yeti is known for the front hinge pins and the being a little bit soft. When I mention hinge pins, I'm talking about these right here. And actually, I've already put 2 Carter Fab hinge pins in there, but I just got some spares. Actually, in case I wanted to use them on my Exo, because I use the same hinge pins. But I don't know if you can see this right here, but this is a hinge pin from the Yeti, and it is, I don't know if that's coming across on the camera, but as I twist it, it is bent. And every time I checked on these several times after several runs, and every time they just bent worse and worse, so I knew eventually something was going to give. But anyway, these Carter Fab hinge pins are supposed to be a higher grade and supposed to be more durable and less apt to bend. So anyway, I'm going to get started installing some parts, guys, and I'll come back at you in a minute and show you the finished product. Okay guys, got the upper and lower links installed. The STRC links are super beefy. Definitely like the solid underside of these. The other ones I had holes in here, and dirt and mud and different things would get trapped up in there, and that's gonna make a nice skid for when I'm going over obstacles. And they mounted up to the links just fine. I was wrong on my previous statement. They used the straight links here, so if I have any trouble with these axial ends, I may rod ends, I may go with some Traxxas ones. So anyway, that's the thought there. But yeah, it looks good. And the white Knuckle RC upper links seem to be high quality. The rod ends that came with these upper links, they actually could have been angled. They're actually straight, and it doesn't look like anything's binding. I don't think it's an issue, but I was just wondering if just wondering if something like this may be more what's needed. So as you can see, you could put a rod end in there and it would actually be straight. These are axial. But in order to use these, I'd have to drill out the hole a little larger. That may weaken the plastic. These are actually 1/8 scale style rod ends. They have quite large threaded rods in here that go into the aluminum upper link. So like I said, in order to use these angled ones, I'd have to drill those out. So I'm going to try these first as is and just see how they go. And I'm pretty happy with how it looks so far. It definitely looks like it'd be more beefy than the Chinese upper and lower links that I had. And I got the Yeti Racing motor fan mounted on the 10-shock 3800, and also installed the 15-tooth Robinson Racing extra hard pinion gear. So I'm going to try that out and see if I can't keep my motor cool when I'm going over obstacles. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. So click like and subscribe, and until next time, have a good day.